Hello, I think I'm live now, so I'm hoping I'm currently live on YouTube. Yep, I think I am. Okay, I can see myself now. Right, so I just wanted to say a few words about phoning, cold calls. I've had a number of people say, your videos really help, and it helps me because I find it really difficult. And so I just thought I might share some thoughts that I used to have in the past around cold calling, and also some of the thoughts that the people that I've worked with and coached on cold calling have had. And I kind of made a bit of a list of all those things that people say, and perhaps some of these you can relate to. So some of the fears, I think fear is probably the operative word here, that kind of forms a barrier in your own mind to stop you from making cold calls, and not necessarily stop you, but maybe just hold you back a little bit on making those cold calls as confidently as you can. So I've got here a list, and the list is all about all the things that come into mind. And you can almost think of each of these as bricks building a bit of a wall up. And it's that wall that then you feel you're having to climb over. And just the thought of all of that just suddenly becomes really, really hard work. And now you're thinking, okay, so how do I overcome this humongous hurdle? Because the more elements of fear that start coming into your head, the more you start to stumble, the more you start to, I guess, hold yourself back. Because you have got the ability to do this. It's just trying to break down those barriers, or trying to reduce the size of that wall, if you like. So think of each of these as different elements that perhaps are building the barriers in your head. Okay, so one I've got here is, what am I going to say? People think, right, so what am I going to actually say to this person on the other end of the phone? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be on the other end of the phone? A lot of people fear having, gatekeepers. I've had gatekeepers who are really, really good in that they just don't let you get past them. It's like, you can't say anything or do anything that's going to make them let you speak to that person. In fact, they're the ones that really want to come off the phone ASAP, because you're on the other end, and as far as they're concerned, you're a nobody. Who, what, who is it going to be? What if's a big one. What if this happens? What if they say that? What if they don't answer? What if it's an answering machine? What if they put me through, and what if the person isn't there? That's another one. Other people might be listening to me in making this call. So especially if you're new and you're in an open call centre, sometimes that's a difficult one to overcome. Is the other person going to think I'm wasting their time? Am I wasting my time? Am I actually going to get anything out of this? If I'm making these calls, I can make loads of these calls, but it just doesn't seem like I'm getting anywhere. Sometimes halfway through you start building barriers. What if I get my words jumbled up? What if they don't like me? What if I just can't answer their questions? So the list goes on. That's just a few of them, and I could bore you to death talking about them. But here's some tips that might help. What are you going to say? Well, why don't you just prepare it? Make sure you know. You only need to know what you're going to sell. You don't necessarily need to know everything about them. Just an idea of what kind of business they are and how you link to them. What if there is no answer? So what? That's good, move on. It doesn't matter who it is on the other end of the phone. What matters to you is what you're trying to achieve. So long as you know who you need to speak to, as in who would normally be the kind of decision maker that you're after, and so long as you know what your objective is on that phone call, then you should be okay. what if others are listening to you? Well, do you know, if you just focus on your own phone call, I think you'll be able to blank out the others. Wasting somebody's time, well, that's a really good one. If you think that you don't want to waste somebody's time, I hope I'm not wasting somebody's time, or I hope they don't think I'm wasting their time, then don't. Just make it good. And don't waste your own time by building barriers. If you can just make it really worth listening to, then I'm sure you won't be wasting your time or theirs. So be enthusiastic about it. Love it. Love what you do. If you don't love it and you're not enthusiastic about it, why should anybody else be? They won't like you. Well, do you care? Really? Does it matter? You're not there to be liked, you're there to get through the door, you're there to add value. Now, value can be added by something that you don't. Sometimes when we buy things we don't necessarily want to, but we have to because it adds value to what we need to do. So they're not going to be looking at you in general, in that sense. They'll like you if what you've got is good. And then getting your words jumbled up. Do you know, we all get our words jumbled up. I'm speaking to you now off the cuff, and I've probably said things that, you know, I might now look back and go, oh, did I really say that? Well, then does it matter? So long as the other person understands what you're trying to say, that's the main thing. And so long as you've got those real value-added words in there, that's the other main thing. Now, unfortunately, I can't make another live call for you today because it is late. Here in the UK, it's 7:20, and I have had a full-on day, which is always great, but I do like to make some calls for you, so I will start to record a few more in the coming days. I hope that little live stream has helped you. I'd like to do more of these live streams, so if you have any questions and you've got anything that you want to ask me, then put them to me and let's see if a live streaming session can help you. Right, well, have a good day, afternoon, morning or evening or wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.